that's left for me is here in this eternity of isolation. Isolation.
Daphne, what are you doing to the blinds?
Just bite me.
Did she bite you?
Yeah.
She's sick of us keeping her inside. Oh, Daphne, I'm so sorry.
Oh, why are your hind legs moist?
I don't know. I don't want to know.
Did she get up on the windowsill?
No, she's on this windowsill.
Not in the kitchen.
No, the kitchen should be closed. Yeah, the kitchen's closed. Hi.
Maybe she was just cleaning herself.
Maybe. It's cat slavers. Hey, sweetie. Hey. I just want to tell you guys what I've been doing the last couple of days. So basically, I haven't filmed very much. I filmed little Daphne being cute and like little tiny stuff, but I've been getting back into my work the last couple of days, so I've mostly been doing that, and that's not really something I can film because it's well, I don't want to put it on the internet right now anyway, like the details of it, because it's not been published, and because it's so incredibly boring for most people. Obviously, it's fascinating to archaeology people, but you know, not everyone wants to hear about stones very much. But yeah, that's what I've been working on. I got it back from my supervisors a while ago now, like about 3 weeks ago, something like that. Yeah, 3 weeks ago, and I was like, oh, I really need to. They both looked at it, and they both go through it, and they write comments and edit, change the wording, and like a couple of times I'd put in almost a question, like knowing that they were going to read it, like I can't find a reference for this, like because they're experts, they might know a reference for something that I've said, or I'll put something like I'll reference one of their works and say, is this okay, like that I've said that, and then they can just delete it or fix it if it's wrong. So they sent me back all their comments, and it's like a 40-page long chapter from my thesis. And the last couple of days I've been going through all the comments. I took basically 2 weeks off after Granny died because I just didn't. I like couldn't even think about opening it. Like, it's weird because I felt kind of fine. I was like, I'm fine. Like, with all the Granny stuff, I was kind of sad and like, but like mostly okay. You know, I wasn't like going out of my mind or anything about all of it, but I couldn't concentrate. That was the only like the worst thing. Like my attention span, which is already pretty bad, was like non-existent. I couldn't focus for more than 60 seconds at a time. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Basically, my main point is I took a couple of weeks off because I couldn't concentrate and I was a bit just all over the place. And now I'm feeling like more focused, and I'm also feeling more like deadline pressure, I guess, because I feel like now like the lockdown's starting to get lifted. I'm like, oh my god, I've had 8 weeks of literally being stuck in the house, and I feel like I've not done enough work to like I have no excuse for not having done enough work. Do you know what I mean? So now I'm like, oh my god, lockdown's gonna end, and I'm still gonna not finish, and everyone's gonna be like, "Hey, what? Like, actually, what the fuck? Like, how have you not finished yet?" So I'm on it. I'm getting on it. I'm gonna finish this. This is the last chapter, and then I've just got to do the discussion, and those are easy. They're not easy. Okay, exaggeration, but they don't have references in them, and they don't really have pictures in them. It's like just you know, your thoughts, like your own personal opinions about what your research is saying. And I have formed those opinions, and it should be relatively easy to get them onto paper now. But yeah. Okay, I'm gonna try and explain why it takes me so long. This is me. I'm trying to. Part of the reason it takes me so long is because I procrastinate, and I'm very aware of that. But I feel like a lot of people don't understand the process of academic writing. And I don't mean that to be like, oh, you just don't understand, like, I'm smarter than you. Like, I don't mean that. I just mean, like, they literally don't, they aren't familiar with how many stages there are in the process. Because it's not the same as just writing an essay at school and then handing the essay in. It's not like that. And it's not like almost everyone that I know that's my age or older has done an undergraduate degree. So they've been to uni and they know what it's like. You write an essay and then you hand it in, like that's a process. But I think a lot of people think that this is the same but bigger. They're like, okay, you're writing a PhD, that those are really big, they're really long, but you still just have to sit down and write it. You know, it's not that complicated. But it's different. So when you write an undergrad essay, or when I wrote an undergrad essay, and the kids I've taught at the university, so I know what we teach them to do now. You get a prompt for a start, an essay question generally, or problem to solve, and then you have to answer the question, solve the problem, and then give justification and find sources, and then explain it rationally, and then put your sources list at the end, your bibliography. And that's it, and you send it in, right? If you're really organized undergrad, you might give it to your friend so they proofread it to have a look over it before you submit it. And lots of people do that maybe if they have English as a second language, or if they've got dyslexia or something and they need a second read before they put stuff in. But that's usually the only stage. You write it, you send it in, you get your mark back, whatever, that's the end. But this goes through so many stages. So the first stage, once you get to writing up, which is the stage after all the research is done, you have to come up with your own research question to begin with. And it has to be a question literally nobody has ever asked before, which is not easy. It's not easy to find a question nobody's ever done before. It has to be new research. That's one of the most essential parts of doctoral research. So you find something that nobody knows the answer to in the world, right? You're going to be the person that answers this question for the world. And then you're like, okay, that's good. I have a good question. And then you get to this stage of, you've applied for funding maybe, you've applied to the universities that you want to get into, you do the entrance process, you get in, and then you make a plan to do your research through the years, and quite often there's lab work or field trips or interviewing that you have to do with people. All kinds of research, even artistic research people have to do if they're doing a PhD in the arts. They might have to travel and go to museums and do all this kind of like site visit and like practice, like physically practicing their art. It takes a really long time. And once you've finished gathering your research, you have to start writing up. So you're trying to kind of put all the years of your research down onto paper in a way that makes sense for people to read it. It's like you're trying to unscramble stuff in your head, physically explain it on paper, and you have to make it up to 100,000 words long. So it's really daunting because you're like, that's so big, and I have so much that I have to explain, and I don't know what order to explain it, and I don't know how people are gonna want to read it, and sometimes you don't even know what your conclusions are when you start writing because you've never seen all your research physically all in one place together. It's like split up into separate ideas. So you start writing, and then you've got a first draft of one part of it. You're like, okay, I need to send this to one person to proofread. And that's everyone. That's not just like, okay, I'm not very good at English, or I'm not like confident with spelling. You once you're at this level, if you send your supervisor stuff with typos in it, they're annoyed. They're like, who do you think you are sending me stuff with typos in it? You know, you're at the top level now. That's not acceptable. So I always have to send stuff away for a proofread, and it always needs it because there's always mistakes. Always. Grammar mistakes, spelling mistakes, stuff just doesn't make sense. It's in a stupid order. It's ridiculous. So I wrote it, I send it for proofreading, and then it gets proofread, and you're like, okay. And then you have to edit it to fix all the mistakes from the proofreading. And that's extensive. For me, that's extensive editing because there's always so many mistakes. It's not on purpose. I'm not being lazy when I'm writing. It's like, it's so hard to explain the concepts that you're trying to explain that it just comes out messy. Anyway. So I get it back, and then I send it to my supervisors once it's been proofread, and then they give me their comments, which is their expert opinions. And that's the most useful bit, really. So that's the stage this is at now. And then this is where it branches off slightly for me and for other people. So this chapter that I've written right now is going to go into my thesis, but it's also getting published as a book chapter. So I need to send this to my publisher, and I need to send it to my supervisors again later. So I've got the basic draft, and now I've got 2 separate Word documents, and one of them is this chapter for the thesis, and one of them is this chapter for the book. And if you've known much about publishing and academic publishing, there's always a style guide. So if you publish in a book or a journal, they have their own in-house style guide, and it's so specific. So it's like you need to always have a space in between a number and a measurement. So if you say 6 centimeters, it can't just be 6 and then cm. It has to be 6 space cm. It says stuff like you only want 1 space after a full stop, not 2 spaces after a full stop. They don't want dates to have superscript. So if you say the 6th of March, it can't be 6 and then a little tiny th. It has to be like 6 and then a normal size th. Like, totally insane amounts of detail. And if you send it to the publisher without it being in line with their style guide, they reject it and they send it back to you, because they'd have to pay someone, a copywriter, to fix it to fit their style guide. So right now, this chapter, I'm editing it in line with the university's style guide, or my department's style guide, for my thesis, and I'm editing it, the same chapter twice, for the style guide for the book. And I'm getting there, but it's taking a very long time, because I have to write the bibliography twice, because it's 2 different styles. I have to do all the referencing twice. The image format's completely different for both of them. Yeah, it's just really tedious. So, like, the writing thing's fine. It's like, oh, Katie, how's your writing going? And it's like, I maybe spend 20% of my time actually writing and 80% of the time editing. It is enormous amounts of editing, and it's not the same as if you're doing an undergrad essay. I don't know if I've explained that properly, but it goes through all the editing process, whether it's for the university or for an external publication. And then you submit it. Once that's all done, you submit your PhD. Then it gets read over again by your supervisors and by an external person. And then they give you more changes sometimes. And that's called corrections. And then you have to edit it all over again. Or sometimes they say you've got no corrections. And that's the best possible result for your PhD. No corrections. So I don't know what's going to happen with mine. I'm not at that stage yet, but I'll probably update you guys if I'm still doing the videos at that point. Yeah. Anyway, I'll show you what I've done now so you can have a look at it. Okay, here's some pretty pictures. Because of the book editing style guide, I have to put the pictures in a separate Word file, pictures and tables and figures, and then have the words separate, but for my thesis they need to be in the text. So it's just an extra other document that I now have. But it's got my XRF graphs, and it's got like these little things that I drew myself that show how, like, grain size and angularity and all that kind of stuff. Just like geology stuff, and then my data tables, blah 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 blah, you know, all that. The pictures are a fun part. And then this is the chapter for my thesis, which is much bigger, and it has all this section here, which is totally full of photomicrographs of my thin sections. But I'm not going to publish those in the book, so I have to take all that out and then explain it in words because it's over the picture allowance for the book chapter. And then down here is what I've edited so far for the book. So this bit's basically all edited now, and it's a different format, and all the pictures have been taken out, and they want it in size 9 font, so it's like ridiculously tiny looking and single spaced and all that. But yeah, I'm getting there. It's just taking its time. You can see quite visually how different they look just from far away. I'd say I'm about 2/3 of the way there now. So I'm just gonna keep on going. So wish me luck.
Nice, okay.
Yes.
Well, that definitely hits. And it is going to burn Count Boris for 5 points of fire damage.
And the bear gets
The next day.
And the second artist going through to the semi-final today is Tom Mead.
She's so cute. This is great.
You've got to be
Charlie.
east coast, north, almost Canada. Yeah. Or just skip the States and go straight to Canada.
To find out
Yeah.
Not Toronto.
Do you think Canada would be better?
Come on, you can do it. Bounce. Yay, you're doing it. You're doing it. You're doing it. See, you can do it. It's not scary. You're so brave. Ah, you're jumping. It's good exercise too. Yay. I'm inside an umbrella, which is made up to look like a tree. Doing my work outside. Archaeology. So I'm working outside. Been working outside all day on my thesis. Well, not all day, since like after lunchtime. In the garden's still looking so nice. The piggies are out here. It's been a lovely day. And Josie's been clearing out the garage all day because she's doing the garage up. So this is the stuff that we're keeping. It's looking good. And here's her progress in the garage. There's Josie, look, she's cleaning. There's Josie, like a little goblin in the dark corner of the garage. So it's getting there. We've got this new yellow wall and a new storage unit, and she's going to make it all neat and tidy. So this is like the halfway point, I guess.
Yeah, in terms of cleaning, it's halfway.
Yeah, in terms of like
Painting.
taking stuff out, you're mostly done taking stuff out. But it's good because I've come in and done a garage tour before in these videos, so I'll be able to go back and find that footage, and then I can do like a full-on before and after.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be really good.
That would be good.
So there's still going to be like big-ish stuff in here, like
By the way,
ladders and that.
I'm not wearing that dress.
Yes, you are.
I'm not wearing that dress.
Paul found me the next day and he was like, I love them.
No.
He loves them. I knew he would love them. I'm gonna get you in roller
I'm
skates.
not coming.
They're
I'll
so
do
good.
roller skates. That's a deal.
Oh, and it's like a wooden varnished floor.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
do a deal on the roller skates. Roller skating bridesmaids is an absolute yes.
Yeah.
The dress is a no. I won't be coming to the wedding if that's.
Oh, god damn it. Okay, that's fine.
The next morning.
Garage update. It's like you can physically see it better because it's so much lighter on the camera. They've done that bit. They're doing this wall. Back's all cleared out. They're speed demons.
Yes.
Here we go. So exciting. So when we're round on Friday for Josie's birthday, should be nearly there. Yes. Okay, we're off now. See you guys later. Bye. Hey everyone. I'm just in the car with Paul now. I'm waiting in the Morrison's car park and he's gone in to get some food and stuff. And then we're going to go home and I'm going to check out how the garden's doing and keep working on my stuff for uni. So that should be done tonight, hopefully. It's really close to being done. And then I think I'm going to make the video tonight and then that'll be the end of the few days and I'll come back and speak to you tomorrow. We're at KFC. KFC. Oh, it's focusing on the thing. Oh no. No. Oh, that you're R2D2. Look at this weather. We decided to take our KFC to the beach. We're going to go for a little walk. But I've got wobbly shoes on, so it's not going to be a big walk. So beautiful. Look how beautiful it is. It's so nice. And look how beautiful he is. Yeah. Yeah. It's awesome. This is Silvernose Beach. I don't think I've ever been here in a video before. But that's what it's called, Silvernose Beach. And then this is the beach hop cafe thing. What's it called? Silvernose Promenade? I don't, whatever. It's there, it's nice, it's expensive. Waves are rolling in. And out there, that's Cramond Island. And there's a big walkway, you can walk out to it when the tide goes out. And then over there is Fife. Beautiful. Like we're taking selfies. We're ready to witness greatness, Paul. Chug those beans. Don't laugh, you'll choke. This is a serious matter. Chug, 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 chug. Chug, don't laugh, don't die. I don't know CPR. Get those beans and doing you. Oh, he did it! A shot of beans. That's majestic. That's my husband, Wes. Wow. Hey everyone. Sorry it's been so long since I posted my last video. I've just been super busy trying to get this last little chapter done. But I'm happy to report that it's done now. I've just earlier today, it's night time now, but earlier today I sent it off to the editors of the book. And I told my supervisors that it was off, so I sent them that whole article and all the bits to go with it. So I'll show you what that process looks like. Alright, this is what I have decided to do. Because there's so many parts to this article, I decided to put it all in a Dropbox and then send them the link to the folder so the editors can find it, and it's got the text only for the whole document, the whole article, and then separately, they asked for the figures separately. I've attached them all and I've numbered them for them to make it even easier for them to figure out, so they're numbered in order. And I've got another separate Word document down here which has the figure descriptions, so that's what they'll put in the captions underneath the pictures, and it's got all the tables in it, so that's got the data tables that need to go into the article, and they'll send them to their type-facing person, and the type-facing person will arrange it to make it look nice in the book. And then that's all my sample data, and I've attached it as a Excel sheet so they can upload it. I don't know if they're going to put the book online or anything, but they can figure out how to format that. I didn't know how to make that into a simple table to put on this, like, to put into the book. It was too complicated, but they'll know what to do, the proper editor people, because they're clever. But yeah, there it all is. I'll show you what I did as well. So there was a figure limit for this, which was 15 figures, and you will see I've been very cheeky and I've put 16 figures, but hopefully they let me away with it, because even with the 16 figures, I've actually completely cheated and I've done this. Look, come on, open. If you're writing an article and you're only allowed a certain number of pictures, just make a collage. Just made 4 pictures into one picture by making it a collage. They can't stop me doing that. So I've done that 3 separate times in this article, which is really pushing it, but hopefully they don't kill me. Yeah. And here's the finished thing down here. There you go, that's it. That's the chapter. It's only like 10 pages long, it's not that long. And then this is all my figure things. I put in the pictures really small so they knew which figure was matched up with which description, even though they're all numbered the same. I just thought it would be like extra handy because some of them look really similar down here. Hang on. Ooh, these plots. I mean, I can barely tell them apart, so I figured I would help them out, make it easier. My new map. Yeah, anyway, so that was an awful lot of work. There was a lot of formatting that went into that, like a really intense amount of formatting. But it's finally done, and I got to give them my address and everything so that they can mail me it. a copy of the book when it's all finished, and I'm so excited to get a book in the mail that like I wrote stuff in. That's gonna be so insane. But yeah, I think that's gonna be the end of this video. I'll just turn the camera around and say goodbye. Hey, so it's been a productive couple of days. Tomorrow's Josie's birthday, so I'm gonna have a day off, which is super exciting because I actually did work every day this week, which is like extremely rare. I can't wait. So we're gonna get up early. Paul's gonna have to wake me up like actually at 9 in the morning, which is something I'm not very good at. And then we're going to the hospital, and I'll show you all that. And then we're gonna get picnic, and then we're gonna go swimming. So excited. Okay. Yep. So I'm gonna sign off now. There's not been any coronavirus updates. The last video I gave you was a big giant coronavirus update, so that's your lot. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye.